All right, so obviously Naruto is strong enough that he could bypass a lot of these domains that don't have some type of special effect to them by just being too powerful for them. But that's mainly not what we're going to be looking into or breaking down, because that's just not very fun to talk about. And this is more to look into how the abilities in Naruto would interact with these domains. And on top of that, none of these domains would work on Naruto if you don't equalize the verses in some way, because domains require cursed energy in order to detect the person they are hitting. So obviously verse equalization is in effect to say that domains even work on Naruto in the first place. But just right off the bat, I guess we can just start with Sukuna's domain. One of the more basic ones, just hits everyone that is trapped within it with cleave. So Cap, you're the Naruto guy. Do you think Naruto has a way out of these slashes?
Yeah, so like one of the things that I keep seeing is that cleave is this like infinitely scaling power, because it stated that the slashes adapt to the durability of whoever is getting hit by it. But like that's sort of like a no limits fallacy, because obviously these slashes are going to be powered by Sukuna's output, right? And it doesn't really make any sense that Sukuna's output, which is infinite, which is finite, is gonna be able to output infinite amount of like AP on someone's durability. So someone like Naruto would obviously have those, if you're going by Kaguya scaling, like solar system or like solar to star to solar system levels of durability. I don't really think Sukuna has the AP or the output to be able to do those types of damage to Naruto. And even if he is able to do damage, like Naruto has like insanely high regen, so he'd probably be able to heal through the damage just like Gojo.
Like Gojo do. Yeah. I mean, so logic off what you said about cleave, like the idea of this durability negation is just ridiculous, because adjusting doesn't mean endlessly adjusting, and we see Maki on panel literally tank a cleave. Like she gets hit in the stomach and there's no damage afterwards. And you know, Sukuna's sure hit is just cleave. But like you said, Gojo could heal through it. So even if you want to say it like Duranegs for whatever reason, it doesn't just chop you in half as soon as it hits you. So like Naruto's regen, like, you know, healed like a whole lung even with just like a one-tail cloak. I mean, I'm not even convinced the slashers would do enough to kill him even if they were damaging him. But also when he's in his like cloaked forms, you have to pierce through the cloak first, right? So I mean that would provide like an extra layer of protection to any of the slashes.
Yeah, and we've seen Naruto like deal with cutting attacks. Like I think there's this panel in the fourth Great Ninja War where he gets hit by like multiple swords and he basically just blocks it with his hand. Like they aren't able to penetrate through the chakra cloak. And also in the
Orochimaru, hitting the Kusanagi blade. Yeah,
he gets hit by it. And also the way how the Four Tail transformation works, like the V2 transformation, like it stated that it's basically destroying your body and regenerating it at the same time. So his entire body is getting broken down and regenerated at the same time. So I think that would kind of like be equivalent to like Gojo healing through like the multiple splashes. And then we also have with like 6 paths, Senjutsu, Sage Mode increased. Everything, all of his stats are basically boosted. So I don't really see how he's gonna get like minced up like Maharaga.
Yeah, the other thing with Malevolent Shrine is that when Sukuna, he can close the barrier, but typically he will do an open barrier domain, so Naruto could just leave the domain.
That's actually funny.
I don't think, honestly, that doesn't seem that in character to me for Naruto to just run out of the domain. But I mean, he can do that. And if he figures it out, you can also destroy the shrine in the middle, and that shuts down Malevolent Shrine. So he could just like Rasen Shuriken the shrine.
So something else about Malevolent Shrine in respect to Naruto is that we know that Sukuna's domain is like 200, it has a maximum range of 200 meters, but we know that Naruto's avatar is like around the same size of Kurama, and Kurama is able to dwarf mountains. So Naruto's Kurama avatar would actually just dwarf like the effective range of Sukuna's domain, and he could possibly just step on him. Like genuinely, he just transform into a big giant avatar, step on Malevolent Shrine, and just win like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Sukuna's domain isn't the most fun to talk about with this, just because it's basically just stats based outside of region. So let's launch into like a more complex one. So like we talked about Sukuna, let's talk about Gojo, Unlimited Void. I don't know if Naruto really has a great counter to this, because I mean, if there's an inverse equivalent of Limited Void, it would be like a Tsukuyomi. Um, and Naruto does say that Tsukuyomi is effective on him in the war, and I don't know a reason he would be able to take something like Unlimited Void.
In reference to that Tsukuyomi argument, I don't even think that would even like hold up, because the only reason that Naruto would have any resistance to Tsukuyomi, it would be because of the Genjutsu immunity that Jinchurikis have. However, that's like a Naruto specific thing, right? Because it's Genjutsu, so they're able to like disrupt their chakra to get out of Genjutsu. With Gojo's Unlimited Void, like, it's not an illusion. He's deadass just pumping infinite amounts of information into your brain. Like, the last time I checked, Naruto cannot handle an infinite amount of information in his brain.
Right. Well, and also with like Tsukuyomi, like I think part of the issue with like Jinchuriki getting out of that is that like there's like a response time, and it's like kind of dumps info within an instant. But like you said, it isn't even really relevant, because Limited Void isn't a Genjutsu, so you can't break out of it via like the Jinchuriki resistance, and it would just endlessly repeat info in your head, and it should just shut down whoever it hits. The only argument you can make for it is that in the Shibuya station, they imply that stronger people take Unlimited Void better, and that seems to hold true a bit with like Sukuna taking it a little better, but even Sukuna, it gets messed up by just 10 seconds of Unlimited Void, and is like bleeding out of his eyes and stuff. So I mean, it just seems like people with CE and like not normal humans take it better than, you know, a normal human will, and not really that it like scales greatly based on strength. It's not a reason that your strength would affect your brain processing or anything.
And even with like in the Naruto verse, because a big part of casting jutsus is chakra control, and having like your brain fried is obviously gonna affect the way how you control chakra so you can do jutsu. So it would be kind of like so it's kind of like this positive feedback loop where this infinite amount of information is hindering his ability to control chakra, and the less he's able to control chakra, the less likely he is to be able to respond and attack while getting that information dumped, which would allow for more information to be dumped into his brain. So it's kind of almost an impossible task to ask of Naruto. But there's also this argument that people have, which is that the sure hit wouldn't affect someone like Kurama, because Kurama is existing inside of his body. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the sure hit not hitting Kurama is fine. I just don't... I guess the only way that would help is that if you, like, swapped the control of the body over to Kurama from Naruto. But that takes action on Naruto's part. Trying to swap control to Kurama is actually not a bad argument, just because Sukuna can still activate Maharaga even when in Unlimited Void. So if they assess that's the correct plan to do quick enough, that may be a valid counter to Unlimited Void. But that's genuinely the only thing I can think of. Okay, so the next one I think would be fun to talk about, right? Mahito's domain, right? Mahayana prison. So, you know, it's just gonna reshape Yuji's soul. And obviously, again, if you want to say that it wouldn't work the same way on a Naruto character, it would just reshape the soul and it wouldn't affect Naruto's physical body or something, sure. But that isn't super boring to talk about. So we're going to assume idle transfiguration works. Do you think that TSO proved like a resistance to soul damage for Naruto?
When it comes to the TSOs, I don't really see how that would be able to help him protect his own soul, because it's a sure hit. and the TSO is like an external thing, but it would be able to damage Mahito, like
Right, but
based on it
If
being.
Naruto can take a TSO, which attacks the soul, would the argument not be that he's able to protect against attacks against the soul?
I don't really think so, because the reason why he can tank like a TSO is because he's using Senjutsu, which is like a Naruto specific thing. Like that is the specific counter to the TSO's nature energy, right? So it's not really just like soul defense hacks. It's
Yeah,
like this
he's
Naruto specific thing.
yeah, he's not really just protecting his soul. He's just protecting against the effects of the TSO.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it. I do think obviously he would be able to attack Mahito's soul. He should be able to attack Mahito's soul through the idea that Kurama's inside of him, so it'd be similar to Yuji being able to hit Mahito with a separate soul inhabiting his body. But in terms of resisting idol transfiguration, the TSO would be one route to argue about it. The other would be just Naruto being able to interact with his own soul, kind of, against Nagato. But I mean, I don't really see that as a defense against him being soul manipulated. Because I mean, Nagato was still pulling on his soul. Naruto could just grab it and kind of pull it back. Like, if he just changes the shape, that doesn't really help him that he could grab onto it, you know?
Yes, I guess it would just be a matter of if Naruto can hit him before he starts doing some crazy shit with his short hit.
Yeah, which again isn't really what we wanted to speak on. So I mean, the one other thing is that inverse in JJK, some sorcerers just kind of unconsciously like reinforce and protect their soul. But it seems like once you're in domain, that doesn't really matter that much. And even with verse equalization, there's not really a way to say how well Naruto would do that. If he's so strong, he just tanks any soul damage, and it's whatever. But yeah, very boring route to go about that. I don't think he has any resistance to soul damage that would just let him eat idol transfiguration through normal means.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the Gojo situation, where it's like, unless we go the boring route and just say Naruto just overpowers and he blitzes in one shot, Naruto doesn't really have any way to like reliably and consistently defend against it. Like if he gets hit by like multiple hits of idol transfiguration to his soul, it's pretty much GG's. Like even though he vastly outscales him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's just knock some less interesting ones out of the way. So next up we have potential domain, right? Chimera Shadow Garden. I'm gonna give this maybe 60 seconds of the video. It uses frogs, and Naruto trained with the strongest frog, so obviously it'll do nothing to him. And it's an open barrier domain that has the radius of like my bedroom, so Naruto could just like hop out of it. And the things that hold it down were stopped by a finger bearer who's like grade 6, so I mean he would just break out of it anyways.
I could just imagine Naruto just standing there watching Megumi just throw a bunch of frogs at him.
I'm gonna say he pulls out the tiny frogs and then like Naruto summons Gamabunta and it just disperses the domain. Like what is he doing about that? So I mean, listen, the domain could potentially do something if Megumi ever got past grade 7, but okay, so after Megumi, right? We'll just go with who he domain clashed against, right? An actual domain. Dagon's domain. I'm not even going to pretend to know the name of this domain, right? But, the sure hit, his death swarm, Naruto's going to be getting eaten out by fish. This one's pretty boring, like some of the other ones, because it's just a powerful hit. I mean, he's just going to be getting eaten out by the fish. It'll just be, like, he has a cloak and he can regen.
And can we reword that a bit?
So he's getting eaten out by the fish, right? He has a cloak and he has regen.
Oh my god.
I mean, doesn't really have much else to say. I mean, anything specific against fish? I mean, I guess if you want to say Naruto, does he have any lightning style, even in Boruto? He just never uses it?
I mean, he should have all chakra natures.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he just doesn't use any of it, like, in character. So, I mean, I guess if he really needed to, he could, like, shock the water or something. But, yeah, other than that, it's just regen and cloak. And then moving through the just pure power ones that aren't fun to talk about. Jogo's domain, Coffin in the Iron Mountain. We don't actually see the sure hit technically, but it's just meteors or like fire. If you take one of the scenes from the anime, this one is like the same as the others. It just if he's strong enough to stand within it, right?
I mean, he was in Kaguya's lava dimension.
That is true. Well, I mean, if Jogo's just strong in Kaguya.
Yep.
I mean, there we go. So, I mean, if you think Jogo's stronger than Kaguya, which he probably is, then obviously this would be able to end Naruto. Anyways, moving off that one, Yuji's domain, city domain, unnamed.
This one
is
simulator.
Exactly. This one is Budget Sukuna's domain. Instead of sure hit with cleave, it's sure hit dismantle. That shows scissor icons on you. Very kind of him to show that. So I mean, you don't even have to argue about durability, Neg. But I don't think there's anything different than what we said about Sukuna. The only thing is that Yuji can target the soul. I don't even think his soul attacks work how people claim, because in series he doesn't hit the soul of most people he fights, other than specifically Mahito and Sukuna. But if he's hitting the soul of Naruto with his attack, do you think Naruto has any like resistance against that?
I mean, if it's anything like Mahito's idol transfiguration, I think there is also like a stat part of it where if you're like way stronger than him, he would be able to do damage, but you would be able to like resist it to an extent.
Yeah.
So if Yuji is punching his soul with his like minuscule AP, I think Naruto might, cough a little bit of blood, I'm saying, get down on his knee, and then afterwards he just blitzes in one shot.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't even, this is just going with, just to talk about that, but I do not think Yuji's attacks work anything like idol transfiguration. I know some people think that Yuji's soul attacks like are OP and Duraneg, most people. But I mean, we see idol transfiguration is like hyper lethal to anyone, and then Yuji is like punching Choso and doing normal physical damage. So obviously his soul attacks are like context dependent to hurting specific people like Mahito or Sukuna. So basically this is just Budget Sukuna's domain. The only difference is you can't just leave because it's not open barrier. But pretty poor attempt to try to end Naruto with this. But moving on to a more interesting one, Higuruma's domain. So what crimes has Naruto committed other than breaking Sasuke's heart?
Okay. So let's see. Let's start from the beginning. We have vandalism. First chapter, vandalism, indecent exposure, harem jutsu and whatnot. In that one filler, he stole some magazines.
Well, I mean, unironically, I thought about this. Would taking the scroll not probably just be some like theft or whatever?
Yeah, it is. It's theft against like the federal government.
Yeah, basically. So like for anyone unfamiliar, like Higuruma's domain forces you into a trial that uses the Japanese legal system. And like you can't attack him while it's happening. Like you're forced to just engage in this, and he gets a little like envelope with some information about you that he can use. And you don't know what's in that. So we don't know what he's gonna get on Naruto to use. But Naruto definitely has committed some things that would be, crimes in a legal sense. And Higuruma is a lawyer who can out-argue people when he does this typically.
Oh yeah, Naruto's not weed in that case.
Yeah, Naruto's a little too dumb to win that case against Higuruma. I think it would be similar to what happened with Yuji. If he gets hit with any penalty, right? It depends on the severity. You can either get hit with confiscation, where it'll normally would take away your curse technique in JJK. But if you don't have one like we see with Yuji, it'll confiscate either a tool or your cursed energy entirely. So like in Naruto's case, he doesn't really have a technique, so it would probably just strip it, just like chakra or something, but then he would just die.
I mean, it depends on the interpretation of chakra that you go with, right? Because like if it's like early series chakra, then he'd be completely fine, because on a normal setting you don't have chakra in your body. You only have stamina, which is the unmixed form of your physical and mental energies, which you have to combine to then form chakra. So like, I guess Higaruma would just take the chakra he's already had like molded, which would just leave everything else, and then he'd have to fight that Naruto, which is basically just regular Naruto.
I think we both know though that the explanations of chakra from earlier Naruto are some government propaganda, right? So if the chakra gets taken, confiscation, Naruto would die. But this does get into verse equalization kind of being unfair sometimes. Like, it's supposed to be if you take CE, it just nerfs you to like not be able to reinforce yourself. But because of how the two verses work, if you take chakra, it would just end your opponent, which is kind of OP because he's supposed to have a separate death penalty verdict.
Right.
But I mean, if he gets that, he just gets a sword that instantly kills you if it touches you. But then if he gets the death penalty and gets that sword, Naruto would just whoop his ass while he's holding the sword. So I mean, it's whatever.
And yeah, there's also the other interpretation where the curse technique that he takes is literally just a one random jutsu out of Naruto's arsenal.
Right.
Which at that point, like, Higaruma is basically shafted, right? Because like,
and also if Naruto's in 6 pass mode, it'll target tools oftentimes, so it could just like target like TSO and take that.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for Higaruma.
Yeah. I will say one thing I thought we should mention is we brought up like Naruto getting hit with the penalties and kind of just moved off it, because I think it's pretty clear that if Higaruma doesn't just get like absolutely nothing in that envelope, he'll be able to argue Naruto into getting hit with some type of penalty. But also, Yuji was tried for crimes that Sukuna committed whilst using his body, so Naruto could be tried for like mass murder based on Kurama. So I think Naruto's definitely cooked in terms of the penalty, but it's just if you think confiscation, unless you think confiscation just insta kills him via chakra, there's literally no reason Higaruma could beat him with this.
Right, because like Higaruma is like a early Culling Games Yuji. Not even
no CE Yuji. Yeah, but even if it was full CE, any version of Yuji, if he just has to box with Naruto, it's done. But moving off of Higaruma, I guess we can just go into Naoya's domain. This one is pretty overpowered. I mean, it forces individual cells to adhere to the rules of projection sorcery. So like, if you make the wrong movement, it gets frozen. So if you start moving, it can just start ripping your body apart at like a cellular level. This is such a niche like ability that I don't know how you even prove a resistance to it. Like what? I don't even think this would have like a listed name on like a list of like hacks. Like what even is this?
It's like cellular manipulation, like universal cellular manipulation or something.
But like cell manipulation, sure. But like the method it does it by, where it's like freezing it and hearing Yuta motion, like it's so particular. Like I don't know how you even go into such a thing. Yeah.
But
so,
for Naruto though, I think he has a way to get around it, because Naruto doesn't have to move to like go into his like Nine Tails transformation and like create like chakra arms. And do you think it would work on his do you think it would work on like his chakra arms, like freeze his chakra arms or whatnot?
No, because they shouldn't have cells.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because we see like maybe Naoya could try to target it with like a sure hit, but we see like Soul Split Katana, which has cursed energy, so like, you know, to be a target for a sure hit, you just need like CE. Soul Split Katana like gets swung in the domain and doesn't like break apart, so it's not being just like hit by the sure hit just because it has cursed energy. So even if you say verse equalization, it's not like the chakra arms will just be hit by the sure hit immediately or anything.
Yeah, so Naruto just makes a big chakra arm and just smacks Naoya.
True. The only thing I think of is like a shadow clones. Like I mean, they would probably just be like instant dispersed, maybe.
Right.
Shadow clones and a sure hit is a weird interaction, but I mean, they would still have the necessary things to target, I'd say. He would just have to hit them separately. But yeah, I mean, I think Chakra Arms and Avatar, if he thinks to do that, or just fire a Biju Bomb after that, would be a sufficient counter. But other than that, like in terms of resisting it in his own body when he's moving, this is such a particular ability. I have no idea how you're supposed to get around it.
Yeah, unless you're like Naruto, who is goated enough to have the ability to create like astral projections of arms. Like, I don't really see how you're getting around that.
All right, so after that, Hakari. So we're going in with some underage gambling now. I mean, this one is really interesting to like talk about, because it's just like you play the game, and if Hakari wins, we're not even talking about Naruto versus the Domain anymore. And also, the whole point is Hakari has to try to fight you whilst playing the jackpot game. And if Naruto isn't just completely holding back, he's gonna just like one-shot Hakari and kill him. So I mean,
yeah, but like
there's really nothing to say.
The thing about Hakari's Domain and like interacting with Naruto is that, like, let's just say we just keep the same theme of Naruto's not just gonna aura farm and blow up the Domain, and they have to go through the reach scenarios and everything in the Domain. But Naruto, for some reason, is just not gonna one-shot Hakari, like, in the Domain, and he lets Hakari get jackpot, and they come out of the Domain, and Hakari's like ready, he's fired up, and then he hits him with a Biju Bomb, and it completely incinerates him.
I'm about to say, I think he could kill Hakari in jackpot, and then he could just wait 4 minutes, 11 seconds, and kill him before the next one. So, I mean, Hakari's isn't even fun. We're not even talking about Naruto versus the Domain at this point. It's just Naruto versus Hakari, which is just a nothing fight. So, moving on to the actual final one, Yuta's Domain, right? Authentic Mutual Love.
Right.
So, this was a little hard to talk about because he can pick anything. He has copies to sure hit. I guess we'll just go with what we actually seen him use as the sure hit. So Jacob's Ladder.
Right.
I mean, so okay, if we're equalizing verses, right? Jacob's Ladder should be able to nullify curse techniques. But Jacob's Ladder isn't like an instant effect, like people think it is for some reason. Like we see Angel uses like a sustained output and doesn't just insta fry whatever it hits. Like I don't think it'll just insta kill or like take out the chakra or jutsu of Naruto, but I mean, even if it is like burning him, you can heal from it. That is something you can do. But I mean, other than that, it's just like how you think technique extinguishment affects a Naruto character. I mean, that's really it.
So like, if we say that he loses everything, all of his jutsu, so he loses the chakra cloak, he loses the Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken, everything. He isn't able to use that, and he's getting burnt. I still think that Naruto could just power through that in base and just walk up to Yuta. He just powers through it, walk up to Yuta, and then punch him in the face.
Yeah, I mean the actual physical damage we see Jacob's Ladder do to people, like when it hits like Maguna, like that's when Angel's using it max output, and she like maintains the blast. It's like the strongest Jacob's Ladder we see. It just does like external burns onto Sukuna. And Naruto's own chakra cloaks, like the V2 cloaks, are doing that type of damage to him, and he's just healing through it. Naruto is going to heal through the actual physical damage to Jacob's Ladder. It's just if you think any of the effects are enough to do anything to him, which they really shouldn't. I mean, even if they extinguish all of his stuff, he should still be completely okay to just beat Yuta and Domain. Any of Yuta's other techniques, we don't really see him use them as a sure hit. If he used Shrine, it would just be a budget Sukuna's. And then for any of the others, it's purely speculation how they would work. So, I mean, I think we'll just leave it at Jacob's Ladder.
Right.
And,
like,
you know,
an icebreaker isn't doing anything.
We don't even know what that sure hit would be. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Yuta cannot use his 11-year-old girlfriend as a sure hit. So, I mean, we can't even talk about Rika. But I think we'll end the video there. If Cap, if you want to say anything, appreciate you being on. I don't know why I said it, let you say anything. I'm ending the recording.